And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Neon City Daily Podcast. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
And we've got a lot to talk about today. Am I right, guys?
Do we, Jamie? What are we going to talk about?
Well, you tell me, Josh. What are we going to talk about?
No, you tell me, because you threw me under the bus last week.
All right, well, you were going to ask me a question.
Yeah. So usually we do like a bit of what are you playing, but nothing's really changed there in the last week. You know, Jamie's still playing Divinity. I'm still playing LOL. Nick's just looking at virtual titties. So I was going to ask this week, what is your favourite game soundtrack? Now, it doesn't have to be at the moment. It could be of all time.
Probably the Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Okay.
which
Moving on.
You liked so much you bought 2 copies of in a drunken fury. So,
All right, I didn't buy 2 on purpose in a drunken fury. I just happened to buy 2 in a drunken fury. I don't know how I did it.
And then you're like, that wasn't enough.
You bought just the soundtrack, or
yeah, just the OST.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it, but yes, I did buy it twice. And I'm like, man, that was an expensive soundtrack because I brought it from Japan, and I thought to myself, man,
so not
that's
digital.
pretty expensive. No. It was directly from
physical CD.
Yeah, I brought the physical CD from Play Asia way back in the day, and I thought, and because like Japan is notorious for having expensive soundtracks, so I'm like, yeah, okay, it's just a really expensive soundtrack. I'm drunk enough to go, I love that soundtrack enough to pay $40 or whatever for it. And it came in the mail. I'm like, that explains it. That explains why it's so expensive.
That's not a racist comment that Jamie's making.
That's just an honest slip of the tongue, and I just kind of leaned into it. But yeah, I got 2 copies of it. I think I gave you one, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is why I now have the Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Yeah, is it your favorite soundtrack too?
No.
Better not be. Need some diversity.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah. Well, we are. I took possession of your other copy of the Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Well, you didn't do that as a friend. You did that because it's a fucking dope soundtrack, and you're like, thanks, Jamie. What a lovely gift.
I'm not going to lie. I think it's still in plastic. I think it's still in plastic in my CDs.
It keeps the value high.
Yeah, it's just keeping it fresh, James.
Yeah.
You want me to keep this gift for as long as possible, right?
Showing you respect, Jamie.
I can't believe you. What's your favorite shitty soundtrack, Nick?
Undecided. It's either the Witcher 3 or Alan Wake.
Ooh.
I can't figure out which, and they're both very different. So,
isn't Alan Wake just a lot of ambient noise?
No, it's got like some rock tunes in there as well.
Yeah, it's like a band tracks from Poets of the Fall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They just did a really good soundtrack for it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Poets of the Fall moonlighting as the old gods of Asgard.
Old gods of Asgard. That's what they were called. I was trying to remember the whole time.
God, it's not even my favorite OST, and I can remember that much.
It's not.
Do you own 2 copies of it, Nick?
No, I didn't. I don't own 2 copies of any of those.
You should at least get it on vinyl, I think.
That's just, if anything, it deserves vinyl. So. But yeah,
what about you, Josh?
Have you got a favourite soundtrack, Josh? You sound like you might have had the idea.
Well, yeah, it's only because I was looking at, I was watching a few videos on YouTube today, just different arrangements of, the movie soundtracks, but when it comes to games, I think the original Mass Effect is up there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Ori. I think
Ori of the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
Right. I actually never played Ori.
Same.
Has an incredible soundtrack.
I keep looking at it going, I should play that at some point, and I just haven't done it.
It's one of the only games where the soundtrack has genuinely moved me. Like, you get immersed in games and things like that, but I think sometimes, especially with movies, the soundtrack it's just part of the experience.
Yeah,
it helps complement what you're watching.
Yeah.
But it never stands out as a sole reason for emotion. But
yeah,
I don't know, something about the Ori game was just, it did stand out in a big way.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like it's got a lot of the same qualities as Outlast does, Josh.
Yeah.
Like moves you emotionally in different ways.
They both move me. One moves me a little bit more physically than I'd like.
One moves your heart, the other one decidedly more south.
Yeah. I do really want to see, now that you've mentioned this, I kind of just want the Outlast soundtrack so that I can put it on around
Again,
me.
It's just ambient. I honestly I would not pick it out of a lineup because I'd paid so little attention. I try not to listen to anything in that game because, again, sound design, and not just the soundtrack, but sound design can make or break a game. And unfortunately for me, it's pretty good in Outlast. Like the sound design.
It is. To be fair, the only game I can think of that I rate specifically higher than any of that is the original Dead Space. Just because of that, the audio design in that was amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
That actually had a pretty decent ambient soundtrack too.
Man. Actually, that reminds me, you'll appreciate this one, Josh. One time Nick was showing me Dead Space, and he was kind of like, playing it, and it was getting to him a little bit. And he kind of goes into this room because there are these, obviously, aliens attacking him from all over the place, and he's not sure where they are. He can kind of hear them scuttling about, and he's going like, you know what? I'm going to back up into this room. There's no way that they can come behind me. I'm safe. And I've kind of gone, what if they drop from the ceiling? And he turns to me, and he gives me this look like I've never seen before. And he's like, why would you fucking say that? And
I can understand that.
I felt danger.
I wasn't pleased at that moment. You said that, and I know that I didn't. I stopped looking even at the screen because I had to fucking tell you how much that just ruined my day. So
it's really hard for me to feel any sympathy. I'll be honest.
Well, that story was just for you, buddy.
Thanks. Hans Zimmer. I wish Hans Zimmer would do a soundtrack. He's by far my favorite composer of movie soundtracks. Actually, I think Hans Zimmer, he might have done a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember which one, but I remember seeing something on the market.
Yeah, didn't he do Modern Warfare 2?
Maybe. He could have helped it be as good as it is, apparently. So.
Maybe.
Oh, he did Crysis 2 and Modern Warfare 2.
Hey, look at that. I'm a fucking encyclopedia of people who did a song for a game.
Oh, no. Oh,
what have you done?
He did Fortnite.
Oh, what? Are you kidding?
He did the theme music.
Wow.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, man. I just knew that was coming. I knew it was coming as soon as you said, oh, no.
I thought you might have been looking at it too. I thought you were staring at the same webpage.
That was a bare-ass guess to the wind.
He did the Simpsons game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Crysis 2, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure.
Sure.
Arena of Valor, FIFA 19, weird, and Fortnite. Dumb. What a dumb career move.
You know what I hate? I hate the fact that Fortnite probably made him a pile of cash. Even for him.
I don't think he's short of a dollar, but
but I just
getting revenue from profits, or would they just pay him
I'd say there'd be I would
royalties?
say there'd be like a royalty deal for just how much money the game makes.
Can you imagine? If he took back end money from even COD.
But I mean,
geez.
the Fortnite theme, it's no Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
It's not. I'll give you that.
Isn't Michael Jackson? Wasn't there a big conspiracy theory or not?
There was no conspiracy theory. Michael Jackson was brought on to do the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And he did help compose some stuff. However, he didn't like the quality of the sound chip in the Mega Drive. So he was really particular how he wanted things to sound. So it didn't sound quite right. And also there was the allegations going on at the time. So Sega were happy to kind of take his name off it. And he departed from the project. But there still are audio riffs and parts of tracks that bear the his kind of
signature sound of the
his
time.
signature sounds. I'm not the biggest Michael Jackson fan, so I can't remember any of the songs that people compare to some of the tracks from Sonic 3. But if you like, Josh, I can dig up the video where people explore that more in
Josh is
depth.
already downloading
I could
Sonic
tell you
3 so we can go
if
through
I heard
the audio files.
I was just thinking, speaking of back end, it could be an interesting
talk
segue.
about butts?
Yeah. No, back end like royalties or profits. Tom Cruise, very well known for taking an upfront fee. An upfront fee, and then he takes like 5-10% or whatever of the film.
Yeah, he fucking.
So if it does well, like, and he's made like that's why he's like super duper rich.
Yeah, he's ultra rich. Yeah,
but segues nicely.
Also, all that Scientology money.
Well, no, he gives it to Scientology. He doesn't take it.
I don't know. He would be like really. He'd be high up there, right? So Scientology looks after him.
Oh, they do. But I think he's also at the point where he could never leave. Like they have so much.
They treat him like a god.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we've touched on this, and like it or not, Jamie, we're going to follow the production of his space movie right up until the day it releases.
I just don't know why. Because it's not video game related at all.
There's games in space.
You're just stroking your own Tom Cruise boner at this point.
Now, who added it to the rundown?
You.
No, tell the truth.
He actually didn't. That was me. I think,
there you go.
With
fucking traitor.
Because
2 segments and 2 betrayals by Nick.
It was a lot of
traitorous actions going on.
Tom Cruise does some ridiculous shit, and I feel that we need to understand this person. So
I don't think we're going to understand him.
No, I don't think anyone can.
But you can certainly join me in appreciating him.
I did only just watch Top Gun again last week, so yeah.
Anyway, wait, have we told Jamie about the marathon that we're going to have?
No.
I feel like now on the record would be a really, really good time.
Oh, right, wow.
We're going to watch all the Mission Impossible films.
Wow. Well, have fun, guys.
No.
You're there too.
That's
yeah. It's going to be an event.
That's happening.
We'll licky you up, and you'll think he's Racky Ran before long.
You'll be upside down on the couch in no time.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Maybe I could vomit on the DVD player. Save us all.
Jokes on you.
I'm not going to use
DVDs.
That Josh doesn't have the most up to date version of everything.
Dude, I have the Top Gun soundtrack on tape, VHS, CD, digital, iTunes, and vinyl.
Wow.
So, Jamie, you're going to have to do a lot of
That's like your
puking.
Chrono Trigger soundtrack.
Probably cost about the same, to be fair.
Anyway, Tom Cruise space movie, there's been an update. They've got a director attached. It's happening. Mind you, NASA and SpaceX are going to launch the Falcon 9. It got scrubbed during the week. The mission to go to the space station for the first time in 11 years on an American aircraft. Sunday morning, 4 o'clock our time, they're going to try again. If that fails and they end up killing 2 astronauts, I can't see the space movie really progressing, I'll be honest.
No.
Look, we're talking a lot about the space level here.
Oh, shush, Jamie.
I think we should start also talking about the lava level and the ice level. It's kind of, got to balance it out. Got to be fair.
Honestly, I think if anyone's going to have a movie based in lava, it's Tom Cruise.
Why is he going to do... I'm just imagining a deep fake of his head put on Anakin Skywalker's body as it catches fire.
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez.
I'd watch it.
That one middle tooth of his coming up real prominent. He has a tooth directly in the center of his head. It's incredible. That's not how teeth go.
Josh has gone silent like he brought up his secret shame.
Just trying to stay calm.
I can't unsee it. Once it was pointed out to me, that's all he is to me. He's just a gigantic tooth directly underneath the nose.
Anyway, we'll move on. But but still talking about movies, but with more relation to video games. Cate Blanchett is going to be in Borderlands, and I didn't even know that Eli Roth was the director, so that's also news to me.
He was there.
Yeah, so
she's actually playing the siren from the first game, the Firehawk,
Lilith or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that
that's who
adds.
she's
I don't
playing.
know. That adds like a bit of credibility to this whole production in my mind.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, I mean,
so
Kate Blanchett's super rad, so.
let's just kind of like make a couple of bets here. Like, how much do you want to bet that Randy Pitchford is going to insist that he inserts himself into the development of this Borderlands movie? And if he does, on a scale of 1 to wow, how cringe do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be cringe as fuck.
It's going to be wow. It's going to have some serious wow factor.
I am waiting for him to turn up in it as a magician that helps someone do something. Like, I'm just...
I bet he's going to be a magician and he's going to be like hanging out with fucking Moxie because he's a big old perv.
Yeah.
Rando.
Well, you nailed it. There doesn't need to be another answer to this. You've already figured out how it works, so you've won the game, James.
Randy Pitchford worked on some Half-Life games, I believe, back in the day.
Yeah, he worked on porting it to, I think, the Xbox or something like that. Okay. Because Gearbox for a long time were just kind of a port factory. They ported Halo to the PC and fucked it up. They ported Half-Life to the Xbox, kind of fucked it up. Maybe it was Dreamcast. Maybe they ported it to the Dreamcast. I can't remember. They've always kind of like half-assed a lot of stuff, and then every now and then they manage to stick the landing, but more often than not, no.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did he also do Aliens, Colonial Marines? I'm just looking at his...
Yes, Randy himself. Gearbox did do Colonial Marines, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I think Gearbox, really their only half-decent release in the last, decade is
it's just
Borderlands.
Yeah. They've also branched out to do some publishing stuff. So they're publishing Risk of Rain 2. So there are a couple of good games that they've kind of brought into the fold. But coming straight from Gearbox themselves, they have been woefully incompetent in a lot of areas. And they've just kind of struck gold with Borderlands. And I really feel like that ship is sailing. I don't know.
After 3, I'd have to agree.
Well, I will say this: Borderlands 3 did a lot to reinvigorate their community with the latest DLC, latest expansion, because it's actually pretty good. It actually varies things up a bit, and there's a lot of character interaction. It's not horrible. And they're consistently bringing out events and stuff for it now. So I know it's still got a constant player base ish. So I don't know. I mean, it's still there, but I kind of hope it's dead after this one, because they just seem like they've already pushed it too far.
It's jumped the shark by now, I think.
Yeah.
The writing is just bad. 2012, it's bad wannabe Borderlands 2. There's no charm or whimsy to the environments anymore. The gameplay was never the most solid thing in the world. The thing that really kept it going was that you could play it with friends. Yeah. And even then, it's I don't know. It's
the next free game on Epic, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
I bought it and I wish I didn't.
You can get the Handsome Jack collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah. That's 2 and... Is that 2 and pre-sequel?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 and something else, yeah.
Yeah, 2 and the pre-sequel.
Yeah.
And all the DLC.
Yeah, right. Will you see the movie?
Nah.
Really?
I mean, I probably
no interest.
will, just because...
I haven't seen the Sonic movie, man. I don't watch movies, really.
I'm a little bit kind of surprised you haven't seen the Sonic movie, because by all accounts, it's apparently good, so...
as of, I think today I was reading, they greenlit the sequel already.
Yeah, they're going to have a sequel.
Yeah.
Everyone's freaking out because they're projecting that Tails might be in it, and I'm like, who gives a shit about Tails?
Well, they teased him at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been on Twitter for 5 minutes knows that. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't care about watching movies, really. It's just not something... I don't go to the cinema. I don't really watch anything, because if I'm watching a movie on Netflix, I kind of go... I get my hands get restless and I want to go and just draw. So if anything, I listen to movies as I'm drawing. It's very rare that I'll kind of sit down and just actually watch a movie.
Yeah. I watch a lot of movies when I eat.
Yeah.
It's probably why I'm getting fat lately. because I'm just watching a lot of movies.
No, Josh, it's all that fucking marble chocolate you've been eating.
I don't have any on me at the moment.
At the moment, because you ate it.
Wrong. Anyway, I honestly, Kate Blanchett, Eli Roth doesn't really interest me. I think he's responsible for Hostel.
Yeah,
I don't know him.
Eli Roth is
creepy horror films.
I can't remember exactly what he's done. I just remember, like, if I see the name, my brain says, all right, with good material. So
yeah. But Kate Blanchett, yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't have picked her to be in a Marvel movie. And I certainly wouldn't have picked her to be
for sure.
in a notoriously hard to succeed video game adaptation.
Well, apparently Sonic broke the
setting.
curse. So,
Hey, but kudos to whoever created Sonic for listening to feedback, because
that was
the original design was horrible.
Shoot, what was his name? I knew the name of the guy who changed it. He was the same guy who did this really funny Sonic comic when he was like just out of art school.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that. I linked to him.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. He also did the animation opening for Sonic Mania. Tyson Hesse. So when the internet went, this design looks like shit, they brought Tyson in, who basically like supervised and said, do this, don't do that, don't show Sonic's feet. And they pretty much did all that, and apparently now the character is very faithful, and a lot of people are happy with it.
That's my understanding,
Yeah.
But that reportedly cost them $35 million to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the moment they finished doing like the retakes and reshoots.
$5 million.
The studio, the animation studio that was doing it, they dissolved.
Well, that's only if you believe, the mainstream media. There's a lot of people speculating they did it on purpose for attention.
Nah.
Reshoots. That reminds me. The Snyder Cut.
They didn't do it for attention. Oh God, the Snyder Cut.
It's actually a thing.
I know.
They're doing it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I think I lay most of the DC universe failing at the feet of Zack Snyder.
Miserable.
Absolutely.
I think he was a bad call.
Zack Snyder, a man who fundamentally doesn't understand superheroes, head of the superhero universe, and surprise, surprise, fundamentally didn't understand it.
Yeah,
dude, he made Superman, which should be a bright palette, fun, like just
it's Superman.
But he just turned it into a depressing, washed out, dark. Like I like Zack Snyder when he did something like Sucker Punch.
Right.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's kind of what that needed to be. It needed to be that like rough pile of things just going together. Like
he turned Superman into a dark murderer.
Yeah.
And that's not what Superman is. He's a bright optimist.
He's Superman.
And they kind of went, wow, Batman is popular. That's what superhero movies have to be.
Yeah.
That's what will make Superman be.
Yeah, but he's no Chris Nolan. He could not pull it off.
Like any kind of like Superman movie that was put in that kind of environment would not have worked. It's the antithesis of what Superman should be. He's meant to be a symbol of hope, and instead they made him a symbol of kind of despair and shit sucks.
Just
and
anarchy.
Yeah.
That said, Henry Cavill is coming back.
Yeah, I did see that. He's coming back to be Superman again.
I think that's a good call, because I think with a good director and a better script,
yeah, I just think with better
he
material,
fits the role.
Yeah, like he does well. I did not like. I was never really a Henry Cavill. I hadn't really seen a lot of, and then he was in
The Witcher.
No, he was in Man of Steel, and I obviously saw him in that. And then I saw him in The Tudors, and I was like, okay, he's totally fucking different there. And then, then like I think I saw just some trailer stuff like Mission Impossible, and I was like, oh, I was about to say, dude,
I reckon you like him in Mission Impossible.
And then, obviously The Witches happened, and I feel like he's one of the guys that needs to be doing this kind of stuff, because if they let him have input, he seems to be in that like sphere. Like he apparently sat at home painting Warhammer miniatures during quarantine.
Yeah,
and stuff,
but he's not a
like,
nerd for marketing's sake.
Yeah, so it's actually really handy. So I feel like he's a good choice for this if they actually let him have some input instead of being Zack Snyder and having a vision that's terrible.
Yeah.
Re The Witcher, I could not believe that the voice wasn't dubbed by the voice actor of the game.
Yeah, that was...
he did put it on pretty well.
Funny thing about that was that he's kind of got... When they're doing the behind-the-scenes stuff of that, he's going like, oh yeah, the Geralt in the game, he kind of has an American accent, and I kind of gave him a British accent, and I'm there going like, really didn't notice that at all.
No, I didn't get that anywhere.
But kudos to him, that was so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've drifted a little bit.
Yeah, we started talking about movies.
Yeah. We went down that rabbit hole.
Good time.
But actually, instead of movies, let's quickly mention, okay, how much would you want to watch an entire TV series that looks like it was made in the Unreal Engine?
It depends.
It'd probably work for this, but I still think it's a terrible idea to make a Kingdom Hearts series in the Unreal Engine.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They are making a Kingdom Hearts TV show to stick on Disney Plus, and it's being made in the Unreal Engine.
Oh, no. I mean, that'll probably be fine.
I guess it'll still look
honestly,
like a video game. Like
If you look at the stuff from the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers,
apparently that's
and stuff,
what it was made in. Like the game itself was made in Unreal. So Kingdom Hearts 3 looks great.
Not interested in it, but it looks fantastic. So I could easily go, you know what? That is good enough for children's television. And the plus side of Unreal Engine is that it renders real time. So you don't have to like rig up a thing, animate it, and then wait for like a fucking week for your scene to render out.
So you can see what's gone wrong. Yeah.
In terms of pipeline, it's a great idea. And I know that Epic were pushing for... who was it? Was it Ninja Theory? It might have been Ninja Theory. We're trying to pitch that they could produce cinema-like quality graphics for movies in the Unreal Engine back when they were doing like Enslaved and Hellblade and stuff like that. Because, you know, they suited up Andy Serkis and stuff like that, and they were doing all this great motion capture with their cutscenes. So they've been talking about it for a while, and I think it'd be fine for something cartoony and stylized like Kingdom Hearts.
That's what I was thinking. It's very specific, and you know you're going to hear like Mickey say something about his butthole or darkness or something. So
I can't wait for Mickey and Sephiroth to fight on top of the Tokyo Tower.
Please tell me that's a thing that happens.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It is now.
Oh, it is now. Kingdom Hearts version 1.5467. Farts Ahoy.
Oh man,
has that scene in it.
Kingdom Hearts is such a clusterfuck as well. Wow. Could you imagine trying to condense that down to 25 episodes?
Nah, I'm not doing it. I've seen what thought it was a quick breakdown of each game, and it was like the first, like the intro was someone explaining how they're breaking down what games and which games they think count and the continuity, the blah, 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 and I just stopped. I think I like 10 minutes in. They hadn't even finished explaining that, and I was done.
For some reason, I thought you guys were into Kingdom Hearts.
Friends. Nah, it was like... It was an interesting game concept back when it came out on the PS2, but they just Nomura'd it, and it's gotten so fucking convoluted, and I can't keep up with it. It's ridiculous.
No one can, especially considering the sheer amount of games that were never translated to like English or put on a system outside
Kingdom
of Japan.
Hearts 3 is basically Kingdom Hearts 10. There's so much shit, and everything counts to the story. I'm not downloading a mobile game that's been fan translated just so I can figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Looks pretty though.
All right, so let's steer away from watching things.
How
interactive things.
Actually, before we go into interactive things, I'm just going to steer this, like, I'm going to take the wheel and just kind of course correct ever so slightly back into the watching things lane to just say how fucking angry I am with the Microsoft Store lately. I've been fucking... Okay,
How is that at all? That's a
because I'm
terrible
watching
segue.
shit. I am watching things happen. I'm not getting to do anything. I tried to download
I thought
Fantasy
we all
Star
agreed I
Online.
was the segue person. But
No,
anyway,
I was
continue.
trying to download Fantasy Star Online because it finally dropped on PC. Very excited for it. The launch was a shamble. It got to the point where like people were having so many issues just loading this thing up. For a while there, it just I was erroring out. I couldn't figure out why. I had to like fucking like use PowerShell to reinstall all this bullshit. And
Nice. PowerShell's good.
I finally got the game downloaded and I played it for like a day, and then I booted it up.
Something went wrong after that. I thought that was
Yeah, I
Okay.
booted the game up and was like, and first and foremost, the lobby is fucked. Somehow they broke it, so it's
Sweet.
really stuttery. That
Yeah.
when you're out of the lobby and you're actually in a game, it's okay, but the lobby is just munted, and I don't understand how they did that with this game from 2012.
I was going to say, this 8-year-old game that should be fine by now.
Yeah, and so I had to stop playing the game to do some shit, and then I was like, all right, it's time to play the game again. I go to boot it up. Nothing fucking happens. I literally double click on the icon. Nothing. It just isn't launching. It's not doing anything. I restarted the computer. I tried again. Nothing. I used PowerShell again. Nothing. I'm doing all this shit to try to get... Like, I just can't fucking click the button. It's just
Stop
not
swearing.
registering.
I'm sick of beeping it all out.
And so I finally get to this point where I'm like, I just give up. I just don't know what to do. And then I double click it again a little bit later, and it just works for no reason. It just... I don't understand what the heck they're doing.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier because I had similar issues with Age of Empires. And it just boggles my mind that this is still an issue
Yeah.
for
just
Microsoft.
Yeah.
getting the product on their service to your product that is also
Like-
under the umbrella of their service being a Windows machine.
To have not improved from games for Windows Live
Ugh.
to today is
And-
some kind of special feat, I'm sure.
And it's crazy to me how even more restrictive it is than the games for Windows Live stuff was, because you can't even access your files. They're locked behind some
that's right.
crazy wall that you just cannot get to them. And yeah, I still haven't even tried to re-download Halo because that just never worked for some reason.
yeah.
The
I
thing is
stopped
with
one
the
day.
with the file permissions, you got to make yourself an owner on the directory before you can then manipulate the permissions.
But I did that. It was so weird. I went through so many steps. And it
Yeah,
just
I
went,
tried it
"Nah."
after we talked about it, and it let me in, but then it reset when I launched the game again. So it's just a task that's built in. Once you launch a game, it locks down the directory,
It's
and
so
it's
stupid.
just not having the ability to even choose the directory you want to install in or call what you want to call the directory that you're installing your games in is just... The problem is it's integrated with Windows Store, and Windows Store traditionally was for Metro apps in Windows 8 and 8.1.
Yeah.
The problem is that now they're adding games to it, and they've kept the store. They never redesigned it to, they never redesigned it. They never segregated games.
Yeah, and
They're treating games and they're installing them in exactly the same way as you were installing Metro apps in Windows 8, and it just doesn't
and why
translate
would you,
well.
Really, why would you redesign the store anyway? You're only professional software developers, and this is your platform. It's not like you have the skill set or the ability to do that.
Like, it's just take the games off the store, put them in the new Xbox launcher that they're trying to build. Like, they're basically trying to make Xbox not only a console, but the whole entire gaming...
Yeah, an umbrella, like
ecosystem.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that if you're having Xbox, like Xbox should just be everything Microsoft gaming related. I wouldn't even care if they created an as part of the new Xbox companion app or whatever, that's where you buy and install games. exactly like you would on the actual Xbox.
Yeah, I was going to say that would make sense because you specifically have everything divided.
Like just ham-fisting it into the Microsoft Store without actually changing the store to suit is just
it's
lazy.
ridiculous. Yeah, really bad stuff. Getting kind of tired of even when I
driving
had
Jamie
downloaded.
to Linux, Nick.
It is.
I'm thinking about it. Even when I downloaded Halo on the Microsoft Store, after I had downloaded it, I tried to run it one time, and it just kind of didn't want to for some reason. and in the process of not wanting to, my entire computer ground to a halt. So I restarted it, and then apparently doing that was the worst thing I could ever do. And I had to... It just went, oh, we need to re-download the game now. So it deleted 60 gigs of files and then downloaded for half a second and errored out and has never course corrected.
No. Same with my Halo installation, I gave up.
Yeah. Crazy.
Once I realized the same, like exactly what you described was happening to me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to put myself through it. And I just cancelled it, deleted what it had downloaded and moved on.
Yep. Yeah, smart.
You know, it takes the shine off the whole Game Pass experience, to be honest.
Yeah, because you can't access your games.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't access the things that you are paying to have the privilege
you are
of accessing.
paying a premium subscription, and you just can't access anything.
Well, so, I mean, I'm paying $1, but I'd still expect...
That's a premium.
Money and all's a premium.
I would still expect better.
Yeah, same. And I mean, at least Phantasy Star is coming out on Steam eventually. They've promised that, and Halo is on Steam.
Yeah.
So you can just buy them when they're on sale, and Phantasy Star's free to play. So eventually, my problems will solve themselves by migrating away from the Microsoft Store. But really, it's poor form.
I will admit, like last week, I think it was, there was an update for it, and like I got that
yesterday.
I got that I think last week sometime, and I actually had the consideration to myself because that's why I didn't bother downloading Reach. I started it and it refused to start and I just gave up there. I didn't fight with it. I was just like, you know what, don't care at the moment. I'm very surprised that I managed to download Age of Empires 2 because that just seemed to go when I did it. But like nothing else has ever worked. And after I got that patch, I specifically went and tried to download something. I just went to the Game Pass, went to install the first thing to see if it had happened. And I was just like, oh, that update didn't fix it then. Sweet. Goodbye. So I haven't really even tried to install anything else since because I got Age of Empires 2, and I think that was my lucky shot, and now it's probably not going to happen ever again.
It seems to be that some games do work, and some games don't, and just, take a shot to see if it works. Halo is like, it's a 75% kill rate at the moment.
Yeah, at this point, it's done.
A miracle if you get that going. Age of Empires 2 seems to be okay for you. That's great. And
except that you can't play it. That's a whole other issue.
No, I can play it. I'm fine.
No.
It's okay, Josh. I can play it.
You can't play it.
I didn't say well. I just said I can play it, Josh.
Oh, hey! Speaking of Age of Empires.
Oh, no.
Josh and I had a little game today. And you know how he was high-roading us about being terrible against the moderate characters, Nick?
You were the ones talking me up on After Dark.
Yeah.
You were giving us crap. Well, we fought one moderate dude, and they just rocked in and ruined Josh's day because they went for him first instead of me this time. Yeah, so I actually got a decent start. And so the way that it seems that we have to play this game is we all start, we do the best we can. The AI will attack one of us, and the other one has to swoop in to protect them. And that's the only way we can defeat them.
Okay.
Like there's never this like, I am adequately prepared for this onslaught. They just come and they murder us.
So are you telling me that all three of us will go and fight one moderate enemy and that we may succeed?
No. I refuse. I'm not playing if we only have one moderate enemy. There needs to be two. There needs to be two moderates. If all three of us are playing, there needs to be two. But honestly, the only reason we lost that game today was because Jamie didn't set the win conditions properly, and they collected all the relics, and the timer counted down.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, me too. They must have changed something because they never did that before, and I just went with the default.
Yeah, that was the thing, as well as like building a wonder.
There was you could build a wonder or collect all the relics, or you could kill everyone. So
even I think 3 introduced the trade route win condition.
Yeah. They must have changed something in the AI because we never encountered that problem all the other times we played it. And then just this one time, they this one guy just sweeps the map and gets all of the relics. Are you kidding me? Right. It's ridiculous.
And you get like 300 years or something to
to
stop
try and
him.
Really get over there and wreck his church. Yeah.
And we literally didn't get past his first castle, and like 50 years went by, and
because we spent a long time clearing them out of
defending.
Your town. So they got me again.
But we'll win. We're gonna play after the record session, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
I got something up my sleeve.
Okay, I'll trust you.
Yeah,
is it a gun?
Actually,
that's what
they
had a gun up their
guns.
sleeve. Yeah, they looked up with guns.
Yes, they did.
I'm like, I can protect myself because I had what were they? I think just militiamen.
Yeah,
but these dudes turned up with like musketeers, basically.
Yeah, they had muskets, and they just like shot all of Josh's horses. And I had I think I was playing the Britons, so I had like the longbows.
They walked up and they literally found his horses and just dropped them dead.
They did. Josh had an army of horses. He sent them out, and they died. They turned the glue. Wow. The only thing, my saving grace was I had those that elite unit that were the big longbowmen, and so I had like way more distance on them, so I could outshoot them.
Yeah,
that was it. That was the only reason I didn't get turned into Swiss cheese as well.
Yeah, and they kept bringing battering rams and trebuchets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like moderate. To do that.
What a crock!
That's that was always the thing before. Was that they'd always turn up and they'd have like usually 2 siege things, like a battering ram and a trebuchet, and they'd be accompanied by like a couple of guys back in the day. But yeah, now it's just brutal.
Yeah. Yep.
Tonight's our night. Tonight's our night.
Josh and I were saying in the game, Nick, that he was also lamenting that when I used to play this game, we just kind of turtle and build up our armies to have a big army fight in the open field. And I'm like, we were just saying that on the other podcast. And
so the only way I could tolerate playing with friends because everyone gets angsty when your base is getting destroyed. But if you all agree not, like the rule used to be in all RTSs, like StarCraft and every RTS that I play with friends was we would all agree to you can attack any secondary bases they've established for resources and stuff.
Yeah.
And the units, but the main base is off limits until everyone's just like sick of the game. And
I want to call that like either honor rules or dueling. Like
there could be like 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah. You would just have like a set amount of like, we will do it this way. This is how we're coming at it. Whereas now it's guerrilla warfare, really.
Yeah, at the moment it is Age of Empires guerrilla warfare with how
it kind of does make me want to play against each other and just like meet in the field. That could be fun, I think.
Might be.
But we need to beat 2 moderates first.
Yeah, if we can pass the crucible that is 2 moderate AI characters,
we'll reward ourselves by playing against each other.
Oh, jeez.
This kind of makes me want to go back and play. What is it? That Warhammer strategy game. Not.
Dawn of War.
Yeah, Dawn of War. Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
Dawn of War 2 was good fun.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Initially, I wasn't really a fan of the whole like not like more having a base and using your units tactically. I was more like, no, give me a goddamn army. But I don't know. Like as time went on, I just got used to trying to be a bit more strategic and think about what I did with units.
Company of Heroes was the other one we've played a few of. I'm pretty sure.
Company of Heroes.
Yeah, that was another good one.
Yeah.
Like I really liked how Dawn of War 2 really was Dawn of War, the guerrilla one.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to do all this base management. It just went, build a squad, go. So it was like, it was easier to wrap your head around. I have to get out there. I have to go. I have to just send wave after wave, but it wasn't even wave after wave because you would have, if you were playing the Space Marines, you would just be like, we're just a chunky group of guys. There's 4 of us. We can take on a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then if things get hectic, you can retreat. And then it's what a good game.
I do have Dawn of War 3 actually.
Oh jeez.
Do you?
Don't know if it doesn't say if you guys have it or not.
I had it, but I refunded it.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, it was not good.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. None of you have it. Yeah.
Yeah. I will admit I've never picked up anything yet that's made me just reel back so hard that I've refunded it. But yeah. Okay.
Funnily enough, like
we should definitely install number 2 though, and Retribution.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny enough, though, now that you mention that, Nick, like. The last games I can remember refunding were both Warhammer games.
Oh, really? So what was the other
Warhammer
one?
3 and the early access of Martyr.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you really didn't like that, did you?
No.
But by all accounts, it wasn't very good. They had a new lease of life patch, effectively.
They have fixed it, and I have since repurchased it for the PC because it was on special. I played it on Game Pass, and I was like, "Hey, it's good now." And
it's good now.
I was like, I'll support him for doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm going to install that too because I liked it when we played.
Yeah, it's really good.
I saw the potential. Yeah,
a lot of Space Marines in our future from the sound of things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the game Space Marine. Not a lot of people liked it. I actually quite liked it.
I liked it. My problem was the platform I was playing it on was a PS3, and I want to throw that control pad in the universal bin.
Nick, it's like $1.50 on Steam at the moment if you're feeling inclined.
I've never remembered it. I guess I might take a look after this if I do to go and take a look.
There's a Warhammer special going on right now.
Wow, is there?
Yeah.
Maybe we should get Dawn of War 3.
Should we? I don't think we should.
The answer's no.
Nick, you should definitely pick up Martyr, though, because isn't that up to 4 people co-op?
Yeah, well, that's on Game Pass. Will that be on the... I won't even ask about the Game Pass on the Microsoft Store.
I don't think it's on PC Game Pass.
Not on PC.
Yeah, okay.
Nah.
But
just thought I'd check. It is something that bumps up, and I was just like, I could get it for free. Oh, wait a moment.
Yes.
It's $20 at the moment. It's 66% off.
That's all right. I did already tonight actually purchase Divinity 2 on a GOG sale, so going to be playing that. Going to get some D&D action in.
How many can you play in that?
4.
Oh, okay.
Go on,
and
like
it doesn't matter if you get it on GOG or Steam. Like you can direct connect to each other. It's good.
Is it worth picking up?
I love it.
If one's anything to go by, yeah, for sure. I've only played one a bit, and that was really good. So.
It's it is an RPG, Josh. I know they tend to be hit and miss with you. The combat is really, really cool though. It's all like turn based and it's a very tactical game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like it a lot.
Well, I'm in that mindset at the moment. As I was saying, I've been playing a bit of Total War and hanging out to play a bit more of it. But while we're on the subject of Steam and rubbish, China have censored.
Steam.
The Steam client. Well, I don't think that. China have censored it. Like Steam have released a censored client because of China.
Yeah, it is a Chinese version of Steam that adheres to Chinese censorship law, and in some cases, limitations on when you can and cannot play your games.
Yeah, really? I did not know that.
That's
one step too far.
Like a game time rule, I think, for certain age groups, was it? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was already in place with things like, I think, League of Legends and Counter-Strike
you could only be logged on for a certain amount of time and stuff like that.
Basically going like, if you try to play it past a cutoff time, they go like, don't play the game, do something else.
Well, it probably impacts your social rating.
No, that's right.
Probably.
Yeah, you'll socially
because they've literally got that system now that
Yeah. Yo, here's a weird thing with the new Steam. You can't change your display name. You're just given a number.
What, in China?
Yeah. In the Chinese version of Steam, you don't
That's
have
kinda
like a
odd.
display name. Instead of Valorox and Tuppence and Norco, you'd be like 58792316 and 48422999.
Well, I don't want it
Given
to
the
be easy for
population-
people to communicate with each other. Let's face it.
It's just
With
it's
China, they're not meant
crazy.
to communicate with each
They,
other.
they don't want anything that will let you express yourself. Any forms of self-expression, they want to quash that in case you want a free Tibet.
Or not rule Hong Kong.
Yeah, if you think free Hong Kong, then like
Every now and then, they'd much rather do a flyby than not. So they better get it in there when they can.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to go into it too much because I'll sound racist, but
You are.
I'm not the biggest fan of
The-
China.
The whole self-expression thing, like that's why
It's not how communism works, by the way.
they've been stopping people from. Okay, dude. It's why they've been stopping people from importing Animal Crossing because they can express themselves in Animal Crossing and say, "Hey, we should free Hong Kong or whatever."
Because
And
people
they,
are putting up signs in their towns and stuff.
the CCP find that out and they screech really loud and then they remove all copies of the game.
And
It's
maybe
crazy.
you from the planet.
Yeah.
Well, they can't get me. I'm not in China.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh.
Not yet. Let's enjoy our freedom, boys. Well, we've got it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of freedom, Metro Exodus
Oh.
has... No, I can't. No, it's trying to be clever. It's not coming to me.
Metro Exodus no longer has Denovo.
Why does anyone still use Denovo? I don't understand. Are there any big AAA games that are still using it?
There are tons.
Yeah. I think there are.
Get
Yeah.
it. Mind you, it's not the most invasive out there. Let's face it. Not anymore.
Well, not
It is-
now,
it's
but it's
all
still pretty
about. It's all about profits, and the publisher is, I think, for the most part, insisting that they have a copy protection system put in place so people can't just play their game willy nilly. Which, understandable. It's just a shame that it's really crap. And then you've also got other people going, we want to have secure online multiplayer so people can't just hack everything.
Yeah.
And so they use Denovo anti-cheat. And also understandable. It's just when, like, it can affect gameplay performance. Sometimes not much, other times a lot. It's a case-by-case basis. And, when you're looking at the Doom Denovo, where it was, it was going to the permissions to the kernel level, that's when stuff gets like really shifty as well, because it's like, I don't like you having permissions that deep into the computer when I can't even access my apps folder.
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm not even allowed to touch you,
step
so
back,
you're not allowed
please.
in me.
Maybe like COVID-19 that was developed in a secret Wuhan lab. Maybe Microsoft have been secretly developing Windows Store and Denovo.
Ugh.
Well, Denovo's got nothing to do with Windows, but
That's what they want you to think.
the whole thing is just very. It's hit and miss. Some people won't buy any games at all if they've got Denovo in it.
Yeah.
I tend to go by a case basis.
Yeah, I usually find
adding
out later
Denovo to
how much
adding
it gives
Denovo to Doom made me go like nah and uninstall it. But now they're taking it out because they realized how angry that made people, so I'll have to re-download that. But yeah, it all just depends, really.
I have started playing the going back to finish the first Doom, or
cool.
the 2016 or
geez.
whatever it was.
Yeah,
Doom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never finished it, and I can't remember why. I think a
Yeah,
lot of the
that's-
reasons it comes to me uниnstalling games is because I run out of hard drive space.
That's true. You used to have very
that
limited
problem.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm swimming in it. I get to play a lot of different games.
Shed a father-like tear of pride when you told me that you installed a 4 terabyte hard drive.
It is a thing of beauty, I'll
Thanks.
admit. I had to get over
My
my
boy's grown
own
up.
prejudice against spindle drives.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
geez,
nothing beats it. Like, don't get me wrong, I am running an SSD in cached mode for the spindle drive, so I am still squeezing as much performance out of it as possible.
Yeah.
But
Go, get in there. Go. Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to take the hit so you can enjoy more out of life.
yeah, disagree. But
What do you mean disagree?
can't-
You brought one.
Yeah, I know.
I shouldn't have to do this.
Exactly. But considering a 1 terabyte SSD or 2 terabyte, no, 1 terabyte It's like $1,500 still.
Yeah. It'll come down one
4
day.
terabyte. Like, to be honest, as long as you're putting like anything that's open world and continually loading textures and maps and stuff, that's got to be on an SSD.
Mm-hmm.
But for a game that loads most of its assets and things into cache, like one and done,
Yeah.
that's fine on a spindle drive.
Yeah.
So I'll tolerate it. And to be honest, I did miss the unique crunchy noise that a spindle disc makes. So
it's very magnanimous of you to tolerate the spindle drive. I'm glad that you've given it another shot.
You're reaching past your prejudices and making the world better for all of us.
I did install it, and because all my SSDs in my case can be hidden behind the back tray, but any 3.5 inch drives, like normal spindle drives, can't. They have to sit where you can see them through the window.
Yeah.
So I may have relocated some RGB strips.
Oh no.
And
are you okay?
Basically, it's more RGB.
he's saying put more in, James. Don't worry.
Oh, well, that's. I thought you said you had to take some out. No, I retract it.
No. You can't buy an RGB hard drive. That's mind-boggling. You can get RGB SATA cables, but you can't get RGB hard drive.
Clearly, Josh, this is a niche that Neon City Daily need to fill.
I think so.
We should go into hard drive production. Can't be hard. Can't be hard at all. We just need a shed, and we'll build hard drives from scratch. Put some RGBs in them, and we'll make like $20
at least.
I think it's worth it.
At least $20.
Honestly. Everything in your computer can be seen through a window nowadays. Hard drives are an essential part of a computer system, and the only piece of hardware that hasn't been RGB'd. So, you know,
really
you tell me if that's
not
floppy
a mini drives.
Well, considering no one uses them, I feel it's a moot point.
Well, I feel like enthusiasts would use them.
Like, let's put it this way: people buy vinyl players made in 2019. So I feel like people would look at the floppy drive and go, "Yeah, I've got to do it," because the quality of.
I got to listen to this one MP3 file of the kids aren't all right.
Like the quality of this megabyte on this disc. This
dude, the quality of an MP3 on a 1.44 meg drive would not be worth it.
It would just be low quality.
But vinyl can fit a lot more and at a much higher quality.
Yeah, but what if it's a zip drive?
Give me a good use case for floppy drive coming back. You can't. There's no
coming back. No, I'm not talking about coming back. I'm talking about people who enjoy
the crunchy noise.
Old shit. What is the word I'm looking for? Retro enthusiasts.
Oh.
Like, you ever watch?
I feel like
LGR?
it's in a bit of a grey area. I don't think it's really retro.
It's about as grey as the cases from that time period.
Yeah. Did you guys ever make floppy bombs at school?
No, but I did have a floppy drive that had a document folder called the fart file on it that I would take everywhere.
I love that. I love that you took that everywhere. That was one of the best things about that. Was if you were there, I could be guaranteed to know that you had the fart file on hand.
It was just a doc file that had like a description of all different types of farts, and then a button you could click to hear the fart. It was really good, and so that made it worth it. And if I still could, I'd have it right now.
Well, I've destroyed, admittedly, a couple of computers at high school. So,
wow.
We were
terrorist.
Way to help with public funding there.
We used to throw really heavy mouse balls at each other. And if they hit anything other than a human, it would likely break.
Yeah.
But you could make floppy bombs, so you would get a box of matches and you would take all the heads of the matches off.
Yeah.
So what happens with a floppy disk is that metal thing.
The striker.
Yeah, it slides back on the disk. Once you put it in the drive, it slides back, So you hold it back, put all the heads of the matches on the platter, and take that sliding thing off. And on the underside of it, you cut out the matchbox striker thing that you light the match on.
Yeah.
You tape that to the bottom side of that metal thing, and as soon as you insert the disc and the floppy drive moves the metal protector to the side really quickly, it ignites all the match heads.
What you're saying
in the
is
floppy disk.
You said
I gotta
school
say,
supplies.
Yeah, I gotta say, Josh, I'm kind of disgusted right now because when you said floppy bomb, I assumed that you would just have a floppy disk that you'd install into a computer and it would fudge up the computer in a very you would mess with the programming. You put a little homemade virus on there and you just wreck the school computer.
We're talking physical property destruction. You were
actually setting fire to school property.
I went to Newtown High, man.
That's not an excuse.
I feel like it is.
No, I went to Claremont.
It's either that or you get raped in the showers.
Wait, what?
Wow. Good. That's great, Josh.
Was Claremont High an all-boys school?
No.
So you don't know what it was like. You weren't there, man. You either made floppy bombs or you copped it.
Was that how you showed dominance?
Well, how is that one or the other? How is either related? I feel like you would have copped it, then made floppy bombs.
I had floppy bombs for years after going to Newtown.
Oh,
wow.
God. My uncle taught at Newtown.
Yeah, I know. He took a couple of classes I was in.
Did you drop any floppy
break
bombs
his computers?
in front of him?
No, I didn't break his computers. He was only ever a substitute for me. I never had him as a full-time teacher.
I think he was more maths anyway.
I can't believe you guys have never made floppy disk bombs.
No.
Never heard of him before.
Oh. Yeah, it's really simple. Just
we know you don't.
Yeah, we can tell.
And if you're lucky, usually it would just burn out, and the only ruined thing would be the disk, maybe the floppy drive.
You could have set your school on fire.
If you got really lucky, it would be smouldering long enough in there that the next class would come in and they would eject the disk after realizing there's something in there.
Oh.
And it would just be like a hot melting plastic.
Oh my God.
They grab it with a hand and it's just be covered in melting plastic that doesn't come off. And just.
I am not impressed with this story.
No, my mum was.
You're an IT guy now.
Going to Newtown.
I'm making up for it.
Dicks in butts and burning things.
How many floppy bombs have you had to clean out?
None.
And that's an injustice. That's why we need to bring back the floppy drive so you can have a taste of your own medicine.
For some very roundabout vengeance on Josh for his high school bum rooting floppy disk driving blasting days.
There's a very specific reason that we're bringing back the floppy drive, and it's not for the reasons you might think, gentle viewer.
Newtown was rough, man. Newtown was rough. It's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, rough in the bum. Jesus.
Yeah, it's better because you're not there anymore.
Teachers used to throw chalk at me. You don't understand.
That was probably because you were being an arsehole, let's face it.
Yeah, it's because you were putting explosives in their computers.
Man, I remember high school when Goatsy first came out.
Oh, man.
Setting that as a screensaver.
Yeah. I think everybody did that.
Yeah, we all had a turn with that one.
Man.
And then the sex ed teacher once. He was a health teacher. Sorry, he was a substitute teacher for our health class, and we just happened to be doing sex ed.
Nice.
And he basically booked the computer room, which we all thought was really weird. Yeah. Sat us down and wrote on the blackboard a web address and said, just go here, look at the gnarly pictures. That's what's going to happen if you don't wrap your dick.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was willyworries.com.
Wow.
I'll never forget.
Willy Worries is your
willyworries.com, and it was just pictures of infected dicks.
Wow.
And he literally said, if you don't wrap it, then basically you'll get someone pregnant, you'll get a disease, and your dick will fall off.
Wow. He was a very optimistic man.
He didn't think that through at all because he suddenly gave you a resource to ruin the rest of the school year. I
tell you what, it was the most effective sex ed class I've ever had. It was certainly a deterrent.
I like how that was allowed through your school system, by the way, that got.
Well, they didn't even really have filters back then.
No.
We did.
Not at Newtown anyway.
Our filter was just some guy watching.
Yeah, he literally could see our URL history and just went apeshit.
Yeah. No, we figured out how to do net send in the command prompt.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you knew someone's computer's IP or name, which was always on a label,
Yeah.
then you could just spam them with pop-up messages. That was always fun.
Man, incredibly tame compared to your stories. But there was one time where like the teacher was telling us like, oh, just load up DOS and enter in command prompts and see if you can like what you can do on the computer, just without a mouse, just completely by knowing directories and stuff. And he got mad at me. He had the audacity to be mad at me for launching
C?
Doom.
Oh,
He should have been impressed.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. No, he probably should
It's
have
like,
been.
I didn't use a mouse, sir. I launched it myself. I used the command. I did what you asked.
we had because I did vet IT in college, and one of the first things we did before we went out on like our placements and stuff was we set up a computer lab. So it's all these relatively old computer bits, but they were all working, and we, as a class, we had to put them all together and make functioning LAN. Then the teacher, and I was with two guys I still talk to today, but they are loose units, and they've been best friends forever.
Oh, no.
Anyway, the teacher said, okay, now you need to secure the network as best you can, make it as safe as you can, because then tomorrow we're going to see if we can basically bring the network down, like ruin the computers so that productivity is lost, and then you basically learn how to prevent that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These two guys, so basically there were two teams, those that built the network, which I was on, and then these two dudes were part of the team that would come in and then try and pick it apart.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, it's time for you guys to go in and destroy the computers as best you can.
And that's when the floppy bombs came out.
No, and that's when they brought hammers and took it way too literally.
Wow.
Got the hard drives out, drilled the platters, like smashed CRTs, and the teacher was gone for all of 10 minutes, came back, and it was just like
Wow.
a tornado had gone.
That's a lot of effort.
Jeez.
That is a lot.
But technically, they broke the computers.
Well,
That's a lot of property damage.
the problem
Did
is
anyone
that the
have
way to
pay
do
for
it-
the shit that they did, the stuff that they
Like
did.
most of it was donated, like secondhand, but all tested and working.
let's look at this in a real life scenario, though, where that would be considered domestic terrorism.
Well, it's criminal damage at the very least. Like, they very well knew that you weren't allowed to physically destroy the computers. That's not what he meant.
That's usually.
But talking about high school destruction, I had nothing on those guys.
No.
You
Anyway, do you want to take us out? Because I need to poo, like, real bad.
Yeah, well, once again, gentle viewer, the podcast ends on someone needing to poo. I've been Jamie.
I've been Nick.
I mean, Josh.
And good night.
Bye-bye.
Literally, that is how we ended our last podcast,
Yeah, I'm
Josh.
pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after dark, Nick had to take a dump. And that was the last thing that was said.